Hi, this is Nancy Yearout, and welcome to High Road to Humanity. And thanks for joining me today. I'm really glad you guys took the time. So, this is my second week of learning how to tap into your own abilities, and it's actually Super Bowl Sunday. So, I hope you guys have fun watching the Super Bowl. I did get a little information that there might be some dark stuff going on during the halftime show. And if you do see that, just send love and light and prayers. Okay. And that's how we're going to kind of dispel that negative energy, right? Okay. So today I'm going to talk about grounding. But before we do, I want to kind of finish up on last week on the different types of clairvoyance, for example. There's different clairaudience, and I just want to touch on them briefly so that everybody understands there's different types of intuition. Everybody has their own special abilities because we're all unique, right? So the first one I just want to go through very quickly, but is clairvoyance, and that translates in French. It means clear seeing. Okay. And it's described as our third eye. You know, we do have a third eye. I think we used to have it and we've kind of lost it over time. That's just my feeling. But this is, when you have that feeling, when you can, you just know things. And so if you open your mind and you're receptive, that's when the clairvoyance comes in. Now, there's also clairaudience, okay? And clairaudience is the ability to receive sounds and messages. So you hear, okay? And you may hear words or names or sounds or music or anything like that. And those are your messages, okay? That's your what you're getting from the higher realms, okay? Then there is clairalliance, which means clear smelling, okay? And it describes the ability to detect odors. I actually have this, which it's weird. I didn't realize I had it until I got older, but like I can smell if someone's sick, or I can just, like, if I'm doing a reading, I can pick up smells. It's different, but yeah, there are people who can do that. And so that's another ability that people have. Clairgustance is the psychic ability of taste. Like, you know how somebody says, "Oh, I got a bad taste in my mouth." Some people have that ability. Like, if they meet someone and they know they're not good, they get a bad taste, or maybe they get a sweet taste. I don't know. But I'm just saying that's another ability. And then there is clairsentience, and that is defined as a clear feeling, just a clear knowing. And that is something that I have. I know a lot of people do. It's really when you're connected to God and you just have that knowing. You just know. And you also know if people are lying to you. When you have this ability, I mean, and you can't ignore it. I mean, it's so clear. It's ridiculous. And so you know when people are lying and you know information without a doubt. Okay, so those are the clairs, and I wanted you guys to kind of have a feel for that. Now, grounding. Why do we ground and what is it? Okay, you probably hear a lot of people talk about earthing, grounding. It's the same thing. It's really how you connect, okay, to the earth. Now, long time ago, we used to go outside and we had our shoes off, and I suggest everybody do that now because the energy of the earth is very, very healing, okay? And it's been proven now that when you go out and you sit on the grass or take off your shoes and just stand in the grass or stand in the dirt or stand in the sand is even better, right? So what happens is that Earth's natural electric charge stabilizes you. Okay, it reduces inflammation, all right, pain and stress. It does improve your blood flow, your energy, your sleep, and it just generates all all around well-being. Okay, now my big thing is, personally, I, for a long time, and I can only go by me, I'm just talking to you, is that I would forget to ground and I would connect to the divine up above, and I'd bring in the light and I'm like all happy, 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 but I would forget to ground and I would be like totally out of my body, meaning I'm just like, woo, up in the air. That's why you need to ground, because you have to be balanced. Okay, so as above, so below. So if you're going to connect to the higher realms, you have to ground, because otherwise you're going to be too out of it. You're going to be spacey. So the grounding is what helps you stay in the here and now and to stay on earth because we are on earth. Okay. We do need to be connected to the spiritual world, but we do need to be connected to the earth. So it's as above, so below. Now, in electricity, when you ground, you're protecting your home from dangerous by damaging a circuit or circuit overload. To me, it's the same thing. You know, we do a copper um, pole or whatever for your house, but we forget to ground ourselves because we're electric beings too. We are made of energy, right? Okay, so it makes sense that we should ground, that we need in order to be present. I sound like I'm preaching today, don't I? I don't want to sound like I'm preaching, but it's just so important that I've learned over time, if I don't ground, it's like, how can I say this? It's just so helpful. It balances you. So if I'm going to teach you to bring in the light from above, it's really important that we learn to ground first. Okay, so it helps you stay in the here and now. I also want to say that there's been a lot of scientific studies done on grounding, okay? Because the earth is a conductor, okay? We need to realize that. So these are like free electrons that we're receiving from the planet, and it keeps us healthy. Now, I have a few things written down here on what it does help with, besides keeping you in the here and now while you're connecting to the higher realms. It also can reduce or eliminate chronic pain over time. If you do it consistently, go outside and stand or sit or just lay in the grass or walk on the beach, it improves your sleep. Okay. And you get a better sleep, like a deeper sleep. It increases your energy and your vitality, lower stress. Okay. So it really lowers the stress. It brings calmness to the body and it cools down the nervous systems and helps with the stress hormones. Okay. It normalizes the body's biological rhythm. So if you're really type A like I am, it kind of just calms you down a bit. I will say when I ground, it does calm me down. Now, it can thin the blood and improve blood pressure flow, which I think is really cool. It can relieve muscle tension and headaches. So if you're prone to headaches, you know, it could be that you're missing the earth energy. It will lessen hormonal and menstrual symptoms. It will dramatically speed healing time and can prevent bed sores. It's kind of weird. It reduces or eliminates jet lag. I pulled this off of somebody's website. It's kind of cool. And it can protect the body against potential health disturbing environments. So the EMFs, it helps with, you know, prevent the electromagnetic fields. And it can also accelerate recovery from intense athletic activity. So there's just a lot of cool things. Now, there's a lot of reasons that I say to ground, and that's because I want you to be balanced. I want you to be connected to the earth, but then I want you to get that healing energy. It's just amazing because when you bring in the light from above and you bring up the light, because there's light in the earth, and you ground down, then you're in a whole different place mentally, actually. Now, I pulled a little information to hear what the Catholic Church has to say. And this is interesting because they were talking about um, that monks work in the fields and in the rain and in the sun and in the mud and in the clay, and that they instill the virtue and that's they make themselves stable with the land. You know what it's like? We all used to work. I don't know, growing up, we always had a garden, and I always worked outside in the garden with my mom and dad and my sisters. And it was always, you know, we complained, of course, but but you know, we didn't even realize we were being healed. And I ran around barefoot my whole childhood, and I think a lot of you guys did too. And then we put on shoes and we missed that energy. Um, Christ's ministry also centers around elemental places, feasting on the gifts of the earth at the table. His appearance on the mountain is a place of transfiguration, his encounters at the well, and his own baptism in the Jordan River. So he was really into the same thing, into earth, and he talked about that. So let me tell you what I do. Everybody does something different. Some people, I mean, and grounding's really quick. Okay, it's not like it takes a long, long time to do it. So everybody does something different. I imagine I've got I guess, roots coming out of my tail and going down into the earth. And at one point, I go down far enough to where I hit the light and I can see the light coming out. You can do, and then I'll do my feet sometimes. I'll do each foot and I'll visualize roots coming out of my feet going down into the earth, and they're flowers, right? I just visualize their flowers. You can visualize whatever you want. You can be a tree trunk, you can be imagine their flowers. You don't have to imagine anything. You can just walk outside. But if you're sitting in a concrete building, right, and you're in a high rise, you're going to have to visualize. That's what you're going to have to do. If you have the luxury of walking outside, then walk outside. If it's too cold, then you can visualize. Okay. Bottom line is you want to connect to the energy of the earth. You can do it by visualization. You can do it through meditation. You can do it through running. You can do it through walking. There are so many different ways to ground. Okay. But it's just super, super important that we do it, because I don't want you trying to connect with the light and then not being grounded in your body, and then you're floating around all day and nobody tells you. Now, a lot of people use stones, rocks, to ground. A lot of people will use things like this is black onyx. A lot of people will hold their rocks. And a lot of people deal with plants, because you can walk up and hug a tree. People used to laugh about tree huggers. Well, let me tell you, trees have lots of information and they're grounding. So if you just sit down and you lean up against a tree, and you put your feet on the ground, you're totally grounding yourself, and you're going to feel better. You're actually healing yourself. Isn't this cool? And wouldn't it be nice if we got back to some of this? Because a lot of people are ill today because we don't go outside. We've gotten so stuck in our house, on the couch, in front of the computer, in front of playing games, doing your work, doing whatever you got to do. But we have to take that time, just like brushing your teeth, just like that meditation, connecting to the divine and connecting to Mother Earth is the most important thing you can do at the beginning of your day and at the end of your day, actually. Because without that connection, you're looking for other things to fill the void. You're looking for material items to fill the void. The ego starts to come in and try to fill the void. But when you have that connection and you're balanced, that's what fills the void. Now, the cool thing is too, so once you're grounding and you're grounding down to Mother Earth, and you will get information. Like if you go outside and stand or sit by a tree and just chill for a while, you'll start and quiet your mind. Okay, this is the whole deal. Quiet your mind, chill, relax, and you'll get information, because the earth holds information. Okay, and we hold information, but a lot of times we aren't able to tap into it because our minds are so busy going, 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 going. And they want us to slow down, okay, and be able to tap in. So the first thing you do, you're going to do, if you're going to bring in the light, I want you to sit down and ground down to Mother Earth, okay? And again, what I do is I visualize roots coming down out of my feet, or they can come out of your tailbone. They do both. And I take it down way into the core. Okay. So this is the other thing. Don't just like, oh, they're in there. No, 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 no. I want you to take these roots way down into the core of the earth. And I want you to get those roots down in there really deep into the ground. Okay. And you've got it far enough down as you're visualizing this, truly. Visualize them going down, and you'll feel or see or just know there's a light. And that's how you know you've hit it. You've gone far enough, because then the light will come up. Okay. So this is really important. And I want you guys to practice this. And I want you to go outside. And I want you to start, you know, thinking of things in this way, because we are energetic beings. So start paying attention and take off your shoes and go outside and ground. And if you can't, visualize it. Now, plants are wonderful in your house. Bring in some plants. If you don't have plants, Bring in a couple. Plants are fabulous to have in your house because it helps with the oxygen, and it can also help you ground. Just working with plants, just working in the garden can also be very grounding. Okay, that's something else you can do. Now, I don't know, let's get into a little bit of connecting today. So, one thing I want to say is before I connect in the morning, and I'm sure a lot of people do this, but I just want to remind you, you're going to want to say a prayer. Don't just sit down and say, okay, I'm grounded down. Say a prayer. Say, whatever feels comfortable for you. I always say, the Lord's Prayer in the morning. That's just something I do. Everybody's different. I say a prayer and then I connect. I ground down and then I bring in the light. I visualize the light coming down through my crown chakra, through my face, through my throat chakra, down through my heart chakra, down through my solar plex, right? Okay, you've got a base chakra. You want to take it all the way down. You want to take that light, and I just want to say, as you're visualizing, you want to visualize that light going out your arms, out your fingers, through your torso, down your legs, and down into the ground. And then visualize the light coming up, same thing, up through your legs, through your torsos, out your arms, and take it all the way up so that they meet. It's kind of interesting. So that you've got this light, right? And then close your eyes and take a few minutes. My cat wants me to take her outside. I'm going to in a minute. No, stop. So the cool thing is, like today, and I wanted to tell you guys about this, and then we'll move on and do more next week. But when you start to you bring in the light from above, you bring up the light from below, and you close your eyes and you go into your meditation. Okay, it doesn't take very long. But when you start, we're going to learn next week. We're going to learn, or my next video, we're going to learn the breathing about this because you have to breathe. You can't just like go, I'm going to bring in the light. Now I'm going to bring up the light. Okay, no, you're going to have to breathe. And breathing's a big part of this too, right? So next time I'm going to do a little bit on the breathing and the meditation, and we'll just kind of bring it all together. And so I don't know, that's it for today. I hope you guys have a fabulous day. Enjoy your Super Bowl Sunday. Really start to think about the grounding. It's really important, right? Be where you are, be in the present moment. And grounding will not just bring you into the present moment, it will also balance you. And it will give you healthy energy and it'll help your inflammation and everything else. So I just want to say it's super important. And thanks for joining me. And I hope you guys have a fabulous week. If you want an intuitive reading or if you want just a session with me so I can help you with your own abilities, I'm happy to do it. Just go to my website, nancyyearout.com, and you can book. Okay, everybody have a fabulous weekend and God bless.